AU fans, Kenny Omega just took this rivalry to another level. We are getting closer and closer to AU All In, and if you thought Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay were going to keep things respectful, think again. After what happened on Dynamite, this is no longer just about two incredible wrestlers trying to prove who's better. Kenny Omega just sent Will Ospreay a message that he is going to be very difficult to stop. And today, we're breaking down exactly what happened and what it could mean for their huge showdown at All In. On the latest episode of AU Dynamite, Kenny Omega found himself in the middle of serious chaos involving the Don Callis family. But Omega wasn't backing down. He fought through the situation and eventually turned his attention toward Will Ospreay. And this is where things got crazy. Omega attacked Ospreay and delivered a one-winged angel through a table. That wasn't just another wrestling segment, that was a statement. Omega was essentially telling Ospreay, if you want to beat me at All In, you're going to have to survive everything I throw at you. And considering the history between these two men, that makes their upcoming match even more interesting. This rivalry is different. Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay are two of the most highly regarded performers in modern wrestling, but they aren't simply fighting because they don't like each other. There is something much bigger at stake. Legacy. Every time these two step into the ring, fans expect something special. Ospreay wants to prove that he belongs at the very top of AU. Omega, meanwhile, has already established himself as one of the company's defining stars. So this isn't simply who wins the match, it's who gets to define the next chapter. And that's what makes this rivalry so compelling. But here's where Kenny Omega could make a mistake. He might believe that Ospreay is going to be intimidated. I don't think that's happening. Ospreay has already shown that he's willing to take enormous risks to prove himself. And now Omega has given him even more motivation. Think about it. Ospreay just watched his opponent send a very clear message. So what happens when they finally meet? Does Ospreay try to out-wrestle Omega? Does he try to match Omega's intensity? Or does he completely change his strategy? Because if Ospreay walks into All In thinking this is going to be another normal wrestling match, he could be making a huge mistake. And this is what has me really interested. AU All In is getting closer, and this rivalry is heating up at exactly the right time. Omega just scored a huge psychological victory. But there's still one thing he hasn't done: beat Ospreay when it matters most. That's the difference. You can win the confrontation. You can dominate the segment. You can send the biggest message. But when that bell rings at All In, none of that matters. It's just Kenny Omega. It's just Will Ospreay. And one opportunity to prove who's better. If I'm making a prediction right now, I think this match is going to be much closer than people expect. Omega has experience. Ospreay has incredible momentum, and both men have something to prove. But after what happened on Dynamite, I expect Ospreay to come into All In with a completely different mindset. Kenny Omega wanted a fight. He may have just created one. Now I want to hear from you. Who wins at All In? Kenny Omega or Will Ospreay? And after what Kenny did on Dynamite, do you think Ospreay should be worried? Drop your prediction in the comments. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to Wrestling Realm Unplugged, and turn on notifications, because when these two finally collide, somebody's legacy is going to change.